Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Stoppage Time. This is the Europa League, Champions League preview. I'm hosting today with us Kevin Dolan, Nick Borrman, and the man back from his cruise. He didn't get lost. He didn't go all Poseidon on us. Pavlos Laguretos. Guys, welcome. I'm going to go to Kev first. Kev, tell me how you're doing, man. I'm not going to ask you for a joke.
No, I know. Thank God, because literally, I'm out of jokes. I've got none left. I exhausted myself. As we say, we kind of peaked at the Michael Caine joke, and it was all downhill from there. But yeah, not too bad. Look, dropped the 5% game last night. I was annoyed about that. Basak here, Copenhagen, loved the under and that. But Basak here, Copenhagen did exactly what we thought they'd do. But Basak here, handball in the box, gave away a penalty. So I finished up 3-0, so dropped that. But then bounced back with a nice winner this morning on Shanghai SIPG Qingdao Huanghai under 3.5. Easy winner, 1-1 finish with 2 penalties. So, and we got a play in Sweden, all Svensken now right now going off. So, yeah, all good.
I'd like to hear you say that name about 5 times straight after you have 10 pints at your local pub, my friend. I don't think you could do it.
Yeah, no, that's what happened.
Nick Cardiac Borman, how's it going?
I believe you're referring to that win I had probably no business winning yesterday in my 5% Shakhtar over 2.75, and the first goal came in the 89th minute and somehow got 3 goals before it ended. Yeah, thank you. It was awesome. We always talk about our bad beats, but that's one I had to shout out for a lucky win that obviously we were thankful to grab. But things are good. Rainy day where I'm at today, but can't play golf every day, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I get it. We win some of these, we lose some of these. It's the game that we play. As long as we win more than we lose at the end of the day, that's what really matters. And it's another reason why, before I go to our good friend in Europe, Pavlos there, it's another reason why I always say it's a good idea to grab these, even a 1-week package. And we have a great special on that goes till Sunday where you can pick up a full week of any cappers picks at Sports Memo or WagerTalk. You click on the 1 week all access, you punch in the code week 69, and it'll take $50 off that package. You get it for $69, like $10 a day. And all these soccer guys are putting up plays daily, so you're going to get full value on that. And if there's a 5% play in there that normally goes for $40, all the better. Essentially, it's one $40, it's one 5% play and one regular multi-game pack, and that's $69 right there. So you might as well get them all for $69 over 7 days. Pavlos, listen, man. Pavlos has made the move over to Sports Memo. You'll find him there now. We one of the reasons for us moving him over there is we didn't get any pictures or videos to our liking from his recent cruise. So it's what we had to do, Pavlos. You understand, right? If you had sent us some A1 videos, it would be Kevin over at Sports Memo.
Well, to be honest, I did send, some photo evidence of how well I was, how good the time was. But I still have a lot of things to show you guys.
Yes.
In private.
Yes, in private. Yes, do not be holding. Don't be holding your phone up to the screen.
Yeah, no, I won't do that. Many people will kill me for that. So yeah, I won't. So,
I trusted in Pavlos. I took the over 2.5, nothing on Wednesday, nothing on Thursday, nothing on Friday. So I'm hoping you had a monster Sunday. Monster Sunday.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty exciting. I can't talk about it, on air, but it was pretty exciting. And yeah, I think I got a 5%, a best bet out of that. Let's see.
Okay, I hope so. Okay, listen, boys, we're going to jump right to it. We have a couple games on today's Europa League card that go this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and then we're going to jump and we're going to go and head into the 4 Champions League Leg 2 games that are on Friday and Saturday. So we're going to go right to it. I'm going to go to Nick. Nick, to you first on this Basel game. They're at home. Surprising 3-0 win in Germany against Eintracht Frankfurt. This could be a spot for the visitors here. You're laying about 118 on them. I think the focus for Basel has to be let's not get involved in a fast-paced game. Let's not get involved in a heavy defeat. I still think we might see some goals here, but I think they're probably going to defend early on. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, shorten the game, right? They're up 3-0. Why lengthen this thing out? Let's cut off all chances we possibly can. They played well that first match. They won 3-0, as you mentioned. Their XG numbers were 1.61 to 0.82, so pretty much doubled up Eintracht as far as chances go. This is a game kind of like we'll talk about the Bayern-Chelsea one later. Sitting on this 3-0 lead going into the second leg, unless you're Liverpool going back home last year against Barca, it's hard to see this going anything but, Basel advancing. Eintracht, yes, could certainly win this game. And I think if I'm playing a side, I'm taking them. They're scrappy. They're going to be the one pushing for chances, which, as you mentioned, is a good reason to see goals, as they push forward, counter attacks produce themselves. They have no other choice, right? So I don't like the situation in this game, much like I'll talk about that Bayern game later. But if I'm going to take a side here, it's definitely the German side. The one negative all the German teams have is they were the first team back, right, from the pause. So that means they've been the first team to end, and they've all been off a month. So in their situation, they haven't played in a month. They got to come back from a 3-0. It doesn't look great for them, but this is a game just kind of like Lask yesterday against United, although United, didn't play all their main 11. They can cover. And I know it's just a pick'em game, but I think Eintracht is probably the side I would take here, just simply because of the situation. I don't think they're going to come back. I don't think they're going to advance, and it very well could end in a draw. But I think that's a good safety net on the pick'em price. So I would go to Eintracht if I'm playing this game.
Yeah, and I get it. It's one of the tough things with sort of the German teams. The good thing is these guys are match fit, and they've probably had some inter-team scrimmages just to keep them somewhat sharp. It's a little different for, let's say, like the French teams that are coming back. Like we'll talk about Lyon later, where they literally shut it down completely. And I've tried to play some friendlies, and a team like PSG has played a couple cup games. But it's kind of tough. Basel, I think, did rest a majority of their players this past weekend on in their final match day of the Swiss season. So we'll see where they go here. Kev, thoughts on this game?
I mean, to be honest, I don't have a play in this game, but I'd probably go against Nick slightly, just because I think we all know Frankfurt have to throw the kitchen sink in this game. They have to get back into the tie. And I mean, you're getting plus 263 on Basel. So, if I was going to play that game just on line value alone, that's the way I go. I also agree. I think there'll be goals in this game. I think 3.25 is about right. Wouldn't get involved in the total. But I mean, if I was playing this game, I'd lean FC Basel at those huge odds.
Welcome to La Maguina, Talisman, Matthew, Nick Borrman. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Brian Watson. Guys, thanks for stopping by in the chat. I'm going to let you know we're getting very close to 50,000 subscribers on our channel. We're less than 400 away. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you have a couple burner accounts, use those as well too. Once we get to 50K, the Perez is going to fly all the soccer guys into Vegas for a live taping on his own dime. And we're just going to party it up once the world returns to a somewhat normalcy. Sabino, welcome to the chat. We are going to get to Champions League after we do these 2 afternoon Europa League games. Pavlos, any thoughts on this Eintracht Frankfurt Basel game?
I think I agree with Nick. Actually, I agree with all of you. I don't know how this is possible, but let me just say that Frankfurt, they clearly need to outdo themselves in this match. They need to score at least 3 goals in order to have a fighting chance. Basel are not a random team, from Switzerland. They usually play in the Champions League, in the Europa League. They have a lot of experience in how to deal with these matches, especially after having won the first match on the road. So I'm not. If they score an early goal, I'm not sure that Frankfurt will ever recover. So an early goal from Basel could end up, I don't know, maybe a 1-0 or 2-0 win. So this really could go either way, but I think that Frankfurt will try to fight it here, and they might leave some open spaces in their back because they concede a lot. So yeah, this could be an over game. I don't know who wins, if either team wins, but this looks like a lot of goals.
I think in order for that to really work, I think we need to see a goal by Frankfurt. First 20 minutes of the game, correct. Get a goal. It actually gives them a belief that they can overturn this tie, from 3-0 down. It gives them a whole new thing. But much like you guys said, I think if they go down 1-0, it just guts them. They literally need 4 to 4. A 4-1 result will give them on the way of goals rule will give them this tie and get them into the next round. So it's a little tough there. Let's go to the other game on the card for this afternoon, which is the Wolves Olympiacos game. Wolves, they're not going to be in Europe next year unless they win this Europa League competition and get a spot in Champions League. They lost out on the final match day of the EPL season in losing to Chelsea, and Tottenham got that result. They were equal, I think, in the standings, but I think it came down to goal differential, and Wolves not being a team that normally blows teams out, it kind of hurt them there. 1-1 game in Greece. So heading into game 2, it puts the onus on Olympiacos need to get either a win or a 1-1 draw to get this extra time, or any other draw that involves goals will get Olympiacos into the next round. I'm going to go to Pavlos here first because I believe you're an Olympiacos fan. So tell us where we're going here.
Well, actually, I am quite the opposite. I'm a fan of the other team, Panathinaikos.
Okay,
but anyway,
Panathinaikos. Okay, well, yeah. I figured it was an Akos in there somewhere. So,
there's a very important absence for Olympiacos in this match. They're missing their main goalkeeper, who hurt himself in a training recently. So the backup goalkeeper is not that good. He hasn't played a lot of matches. He doesn't have all that synergy with his own defense. So that might be a problem for Olympiacos, who will also be missing one of their main center backs. So their defense is surely going to be threatened by the Wolves' attack. They have Adama Traore at the right flank. They have Jimenez, that can really hurt Olympiacos' defense. As you said, Wolves are not gonna play European soccer next season unless they capture the Europa League. So they really have a bigger motive to progress from this tie. Olympiacos, they took the title in Greece, so they will play in the Champions League. They will be given a chance to play at the Champions League. So I think that in this match, Wolves shouldn't be the huge favorite. I don't like their price. I could look towards Olympiacos in this match, but I think that we'll see goals from both sides here. Wolves can certainly have the quality to terrorize the experimental defense of Olympiacos, and Olympiacos have actually done very well on the road this season, especially in Europe. After all, they beat Arsenal, which is slightly better, I guess, than Wolves. Yeah. Well, when they beat Arsenal were actually struggling, so that's not really, a point. But I think we'll see goals from both sides here.
Yeah, I think the total in this game, I'm looking at it right now, is lying at 2.25 goals in this game. So
2.25.
Yeah, 2.25. So if you like goals, that's the best total you can get right now. Nick, your thoughts on this?
I'll just be quick. Our second straight Premier League team for Olympiacos, and like Pablo said, even though they beat Arsenal won the XG number in both games. They won 2.61 to 0.34 at Olympiacos. yet only won 1-0, and then 2.11 to 1.15 at home, yet lost 0-1. So the chances, even though Arsenal wasn't playing that well at that time, they clearly had the chances in the games and were the better side creating them in that game. And I kind of, look at Arsenal and Wolves as similar. I mean, they play differently, but Arsenal recently has started playing a lot better defensively, and that we know the Wolves are a defensive team. So coming from the same league, I think they're both similar strength. I kind of feel like the Wolves are going to put up similar numbers here and have the chances in the game. So I like the Wolves in this one.
All right, Kev, thoughts on this game?
Well, just as a side note, actually, I'm delighted Wolves didn't qualify for Europe next year, because I see them being a bet-on team throughout next season's Premier League, without the distraction of Europe. So I'm hoping, obviously, they don't win this competition. But in terms of this game, Pavlos touched on it. Semedo's absence at the back. Do you need to give Traore any more, room for going forward? You don't want to lose one of your best backmen. So, but there's no. I do expect Wolves to progress. I think they'll get out of this game. But -3 to progress to advance to the next stage. I don't see a lot of goals. I think it'll be tight enough if Wolves get a lead. I can see them sitting back. 2.25 goals. That's very tight as well. I just think this game is priced perfectly. I just don't see any edge.
Yeah, my thoughts here, just the way the Wolves play, if against a team that needs to score, they have that counterattack that can score goals, that can click for them. They've played that game all season long. We see them where they defend and they hit teams on the counter. We've seen them do it against Man City. We've seen them do it against a lot of the top 6 sides and stuff. So, I like Wolves here. I'm not really sure on the total, to be honest with you, because they could easily get up a goal and lock it down, and they have that type of a team that they can actually lock it down. So, I'm going to look at the Wolves here. As you mentioned, another way to go. Could be just take Wolverhampton to qualify here. I know it's a big price. In the event that this game goes to 1-1 and extra time and penalties, you have that little bit of assurance, but you're paying a price on it. So the game line right now is Wolves -143, and that's probably where it is. As you said, the total. I think the books have it bang on this game. Welcome to a couple more guys in the chat. Again, we're going to cover the Champions League games next. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. We have that great promo going on where you can head to WagerTalk or Sports Memo. Pick the 7-day all access for any capper. Use the promo week 69 and you get $50 off that package. So it's only $69 for 7 days. That includes all 5% plays for that capper as well too, that normally go for $40. So great way to go there as well. And yes, Sevilla is on the board against Roma in that game. Nick and I talked about that game over the last little while. The Sevilla's almost like the Europa League team. I think they've won this competition like four times. They seem to really do well in this competition. So they're up early on Roma. I have a personal wager on that game, which is both teams to score. So I just need Roma to do their part of it. We are going to go to Friday's games now. 2 games on the card. These are Leg 2 games. So while the other side of the bracket with PSG, Atalanta, Red Bull Leipzig, and Atletico Madrid will start theirs already in Portugal, and they'll start theirs next week. This Juve Lyon game and the Man City Real Madrid game that we're talking about now up next, they'll be playing on home soil. Obviously, no fans, but because the Leg 1 games were played, they will play Leg 2. Juve are at home against at the Allianz. Lyon are up 1-0 in that. This line right now, I'm looking at it, and obviously Juve are favorites in this game at -225. The total in this game, I believe, just give me a second here, guys. Sorry, I should have had that. up on the screen earlier, is at 2.75 with the under juiced a little bit. I'm going to go to Kevin first on this one and tell me what your thoughts on this are.
Sorry, yeah, you broke up a wee bit. Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to look past Juventus minus 122 to qualify. It's you feel as though they're just going to do enough to get out of town. And people forget about the first game as well. Juventus dominated possession last time, like 61% possession, and they also, we talk about XG, but there's also stats like dangerous attack ratio. They won that stat 86-30 as well. So really, they were a little unlucky to lose the first game 1-0. So I expect them to get back into this. I would take that price, minus 122. I am probably going to stay off, but it was very close to making the card.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Again, Lyon have really only played one competitive match in 5 months. That was against PSG in the cup final, where I believe it was scoreless through 90 minutes. It's one of those games. Listen, I've seen Juve. I watch essentially every single game throughout the year in all competitions, but I've seen them overturn a tie. Like last year against Atletico Madrid, down 2-0. They came back home, and it was the Ronaldo show. They won that game 3-0, overturned that tie, and went on to the next round. Lyon is going to come here. They're going to try and do the same thing they did to PSG in that cup game. They're going to defend. They're going to try and defend this 1-0 lead. The Juve back line has been shaky. So, they did rest players against Roma, and we told you on the last week's Stoppage Time show to jump on Roma in the final match of the season. Juve had not lost a game at home, but it was a perfect time to fade them. And a lot of you guys got plus 200 on that game, which was great. Roma won that game 3-1. Juve did play, a couple of guys were in the lineup, but for the most part, they rested their players. Anytime you see Rugani in there, Nick will tell you, I just cringe seeing in there. So you got to hope that Bonucci is back, the lid is back. You have your core there in midfield and on the back line, because here's the thing: Lyon score a goal, and Juve's got to score 3 and to make it through. So it's one of those things that when you don't get that all important away goal, you literally are putting the pressure on your own defense and midfield to stop the other team from scoring a goal. Nick, thoughts on this game?
I like Juve to advance here. The problem is that one goal from Lyon is big because Juve didn't score on the road, right? So one away goal is essentially 2 goals in this scenario, and that's going to be even that much harder to overcome. So because of how Lyon's going to come in and play this game, as you mentioned, and Juve normally is a good defensive team too, I like the under, actually, 2 3/4. I thought it would be 2.5. So I think it's a little bit of a nice value to get the extra quarter of a goal. I like the under here. I think it'll be a slow start. Lyon's going to hang on as long as they possibly can. And, I think it could go to halftime 0-0, and I think we're sitting in good position that spot. So I like the under actually here.
Yeah, and before I go to Pavlos, again, I'm a Juve fan, but I bet with my wallet and not with my heart, or bet with my head maybe and not with the thing. So if I'm taking them, I'm probably taking them not so much on the game line, but to advance. Just because that price is lower, I seem to think if they win the game, they're going to win it. A 2-0 type score line. This isn't a Juve team. You guys know, we've watched them all year. This isn't a team that wins 3-0, 4-0 games. So they're really up against it if they allow a goal. Because I don't see a 3-1 result or a 4-1 result. I could be wrong. They could surprise us tomorrow, but the way, if we're basing it on what we've seen in the last 6 or 7 games of the Italian season, they'd be in trouble. And if they get by Lyon, they're definitely in trouble. Even in a one-off game, you've got Man City and Real Madrid, one of those two waiting, and we're going to discuss that game next after we hear from the man in Greece, Pavlos. Tell us.
I agree with pretty much everyone because I just like to say that, I'd like to say that Juve kept just one clean sheet in the last 10 matches.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Pavlos, you might be Canadian.
Yes.
Seriously.
I might because I'm so polite.
And you agree with all of us. Like, you're not going to get a red card from me by saying you like Lyon. Trust me, okay? We're here to give these guys some info. So, all right. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there. Go ahead.
Okay. No problem. I just wanted to say that I don't know if Juventus were too, relaxed because they were at the top of their standings, but they kept just one clean sheet in their last 10 matches to finish the season, which is really weird for a team like Juventus. They are, defensive stalwarts. They just don't concede traditionally. This season, things have been much better. And in those 10 matches, they conceded multiple goals on 6 occasions, which is, again, really weird for Juventus. Now, Lyon clearly have the quality up front. They have really fast and talented guys like Depay, Dembélé, and Cornet. They have a lot of guys that can really, stress Juventus defense, because the Juventus defenders, mainly the center backs, are tough guys but slow guys. They know how to do one-on-ones, but in the open field, if the ball goes above them, they have a really tough time. So Lyon will obviously look to hold their lead. So the under 2 3/4 is really nice here, but I do think that they will score. They didn't in their match against PSG in the final, but they created a lot of chances and they were actually the better team in that match, at least in my perspective. So they haven't played in like 5 months, so that might be a problem. I think the under 2 3/4 is nice here.
Yeah, and and the thing is, and we're going to talk about it when we talk about Saturday's game involving Barcelona. But I understand it was a cup final, but sometimes managerial wise, they'll put a game plan in place and a lineup in place to basically you're basically I don't want to call it practice, but you're basically putting a concept together that you're going to carry over to a game that really matters more. And this Champions League game matters more with Lyon. And, their game plan was to shut down shut down PSG, not give them a lot of opportunities to score. And it seemed to work, through 90 minutes. And you might see something similar in this game because ideally, you stop Juve for 90 minutes, and you're heading to Portugal for the, to the quarterfinal round. So, this is something that you have to sort of take into consideration going here. So I'm not sure about how many goals we're going to see here. I have no opinion right now in the total. I was looking at, again, some exact score combos that I might put in. And 2-0 Juve right now is the second lowest exact score price. 1-0 is plus 550. 2-0 is plus 600. So it's something that I might play, as an aside to everything else on the card. Welcome, Mike Pescatore, Scott S, to the chat. We are going to head to the second game. This one's a good one, man. And the winner of this game will face the winner of Juve and Lyon, and it's Man City at home at the Etihad against Real Madrid. City's up 2-1 after winning at the Bernabeu. Madrid, after the restart, this team looked absolutely unbeatable. 10 straight wins in La Liga before, they had already won the title on when they played to a 2-2 draw on that final weekend. City are only 138 here, which City are very rarely 138 at home. I'm going to go to Nick first on this game. Nick, give me your thoughts.
I like City here. I think they were the better team in that first game. Obviously, they won 2-1. I put up in the chat before their XG numbers. They actually blew them away. as far as created chances in that game. Madrid, we talked about several times on these shows. I gave them out plus 250 to win La Liga on the comeback because their schedule was cake.
Yeah,
So you mentioned the 10-win streak to come back. Who did they really beat? There wasn't much in there. There was nobody like City, of course. City, they've had a couple losses since their return. They lost, but they've all come on the road. You're talking about at Southampton, at Chelsea, and then against Arsenal in the FA Cup. But at home, they beat Arsenal 3-0. They beat Liverpool 4-0. So you already mentioned it. City at home, just an animal. I think they're going to win. I think the price is okay. You don't get them this low that much, minus 140, close to that number, or take them on the 3-quarter line. But I think City at home are the play here. That's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth.
I get it. Pavlos, thoughts on this game?
City actually they were much better. I think they were better in the first match. Real Madrid were. I don't like how Zidane placed his starting 11 with Isco inside and Valverde and Vinicius. These are I think they have more quality there. I don't know what the reason was for that change. Maybe the reason is that Bale is just permanently injured, or maybe in the doghouse this season. He doesn't play a lot. The same goes for Hazard. These guys are really game changers, and I think that Hazard, I don't know how you pronounce it in the US, he's not going to play. Bale is not going to play. Ramos is not going to play. Marcelo might not play. So these are really, no matter how much depth Real Madrid have, these are irreplaceable players. They might Real Madrid might have some cool youngsters that are very talented and might be good in like top class in like 2 or 3 years, but right now they're inferior to Bale and Hazard. So we know Bale is not gonna play. Hazard, I haven't read any news today. I don't know if he's gonna play. If neither of these guys play, I'm not sure how they'll threaten Manchester City side, who have been really really strong this season.
Yeah.
So I think
go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just agree with Nick here. I think we're looking at a home win, but Real Madrid, they tend to without Ramos, who is the captain, they tend to play a little differently, a little with less passion, with less grit. So I think that will affect them.
Yeah,
greatly,
I was surprised.
I was
surprised Bale was left off the team roster. Obviously, Ramos is missing the game because of a red card. And as far as Marcelo and Hazard go, that's literally going to be a decision that's made on Friday, closer to game day. Kev, thoughts on this game? Can Madrid somehow turn this tie over?
Yes, I mean, listening to Nick and Pavlos, I was like, no. I'm all like, it's not a play for me. But this is just all of the. I think Manchester City are honestly the most overrated team. Like as favourites, what? But anyway, regardless of that fact, look, they might beat Real Madrid tonight, tomorrow, Friday. But look, you can get +1 on Real Madrid, minus 140 at Pinnacle. That'd be the safest end, but you can get draw +345. I believe the money line on Real Madrid is +332. I mean, the reason for this, I just think Man City overrated. They had to come from behind, obviously, to beat Real Madrid in the first leg. And more than that, there was I can't remember exactly what was said in terms of tactics, but Pep was clowning Zidane in terms of the first game, and then he got his tactics wrong. Now, imagine what the last few months in terms of that. I'm basically a better manager than you. I expect, even with the players missing and Ramos and all that, I expect Madrid to get at least a draw in this game. I'm probably going to sprinkle some money on the outright draw and the Real Madrid money line in this game. Because, and the +1 as a safety net. But I do not expect City to win this game by 2. No chance.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's one of those things where, if you listen to the media and you listen to like diehards, and they'll tell you that City has a chip on their shoulder because of the whole UEFA ban that was overturned, and that other teams like in the EPL tried to keep them out of Champions League, and they're moving forward and they want to win, and that's all fine and dandy, but you still have to step on the field against a quality side and play 90 minutes. Because bottom line is, and these are the things that factor into the game. Let's say, using hypotheticals once again, let's say this game is scoreless through through the first half. Let's say it's still scoreless midway through the third, and then Madrid go ahead. How is City playing this game? Are they playing and defending against a second goal? Because even at 1-0 Madrid, City are through to the next round.
And Madrid plus 509, like Madrid to qualify. Yeah. Plus 509. Again, I'll be taking a piece of that. That's way too big.
It is a big price. I get it with City. They're a multi-talented team. It hurts that Aguero's not there, but there's still a lot of scoring throughout that 11. They can play, but I'm telling you, I say year in and year out, and I know City's a good team, so no disrespect to them, but the top teams in La Liga can play. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, even Sevilla. You know what I mean? These teams can play, so we can't discount them at all when you're looking at a game like this. And it can be overturned. And the thing is here also is even if Madrid need 2 goals, plain and simple, they need 2 goals. So even if City go ahead early, nothing really changes because they still need 2 goals to get it into. Now it'll be 2 goals to get them into extra time and penalties, but it doesn't change. The game does not change with a City going on top early. So unless either one of you guys has anything to add, Nick, did I go to you on this game yet?
Yeah, you did. I went on City, and Kevin said I was an idiot. Remember?
Right. I think he muted my mic when he said that, so I wouldn't give him a yellow or a red.
Well, listen, the one thing I'll say in defense of Kevin is he's right. I mean, City chokes in this tournament a lot. That's an agreement 100%. So that's the one reason I'd stay off them. I don't think they're overrated. But if you look at the XG numbers in the Premier League, they should have won the league by a wide margin. Liverpool are the overrated team if you look at just XG numbers in the league. However, City do not perform well when it matters in these type of events. So I'm not sold on the fact that they're just going to go in here and steamroll by any means. And I wouldn't be surprised if they choke out here. But I think going home with the lead, I think they're going to advance at least in this one. Maybe they won't win the maybe they'll, like Kevin said, a draw could happen or Madrid covers this particular line, but I still see them advancing in this particular round. But I'm not betting on them to win the Champions League, I'll tell you that.
All right, let's head to obviously the next game up, which is a Saturday game. I'll be watching this game between the 2 games that go on. I'll be watching the Barcelona-Napoli game. My in-laws are diehard, and my brother-in-law, diehard Barcelona fans. My wife, not a Barcelona fan. She's actually a David Beckham fan, but she will be sporting the white and black of Juve on Friday. Barcelona, this is another game where the game at the San Paolo in Italy finished 1-1. So Barcelona got the all-important away goal in that game. They're at home. They're minus 163. The draw is plus 320. Napoli is plus 425. Say what you want to say about Barcelona and not being great after the restart, but they did have a much tougher schedule than Real Madrid did have. Napoli were pretty good. They were pretty good defensively. And, I talked about, before I throw this to Nick first, before I talk about, or before I throw it to Nick, I want to talk about the Napoli preparing for this game. They literally played a game on the third last round of the Italian season, where they played at home against Sassuolo, and they actually played a high back line in that game, and to try and put, and Sevilla just scored to go up 2-0, to try and put that offside trap in play, and it worked to a charm. There was 4 goals scored by Sassuolo in that game that were all called back on VAR for offsides. It's something that they're probably going to try and use against a Barcelona team that does like to push, that does like to play that ball from the back, get it to Messi, get it to the wings. Nick, with that said, give me your thoughts, man.
Can I give a balk on this one and give it to Kevin first so I have a chance to rebuttal?
Yes. Okay, Kev, I'm going to throw this to you first.
Well, I have a 4% play on the total. I like the total in this game. But in terms of the side, the price, I mean, Napoli, you said plus 425. I mean, that's probably the consensus line. But if you shop around, you can get plus 448 the Pinnacle right now. That just seems way too juicy of a price for me, Napoli. I think people are going to walk to the window. This is a little bit, for me, like Juventus Lyon in terms of if you're just a casual bettor, right? You're going to walk to the window. You're going to look at the two teams. You're going to expect Juventus to qualify. You're going to expect Barcelona to qualify. But Barcelona, I couldn't put my money near Barcelona right now. They've been playing extremely poorly since the restart. They've scored just 1 goal in 4 of the last 6 at home. And look, that's not to say Napoli haven't struggled themselves, but they come off 2 decent wins in the last couple of weeks against Lazio, Sassuolo. 2 good teams, you know. So I think I wouldn't. I'm kind of torn in this game. Yes, do I expect Barcelona to kind of sneak it? Possibly. But that Napoli plus 448 is way too big of a price. Again, a little bit like the Real Madrid. I might just sprinkle a bit in that.
All right.
Outright
Rebuttal, Mr. Nick.
Kevin loves the big, juicy numbers, and I don't blame him. They're attractive. I look at those things all the time. Barca 16-2-1 at home this year, 52-16 goal differential in the Liga play. Napoli, this is a fade on Napoli's away form. On the road, hang on, had it up here. All right, their last 5 matches since the restart. Well, we can talk about all 6 away matches since the restart. Lost at Inter, 0-2. Lost at Parma, 1-2. Lost at Atalanta, 0-2. So against the 2 good teams there, Inter and Atlanta, they didn't even score. And you got to imagine Barca at home should be better than an Atalanta, I would think, and on terms with Inter, if not better. And then they drew up Bologna, and then they beat Genoa, and they beat Roma. So I think their away form isn't there. Yeah, they've had a couple good wins. And Barcelona, you're right, they didn't play the greatest since the restart, and a reason why I faded them. But at home, they do. They're healthy. Everybody's there except Vidal. I think he's out with the red card, correct? So I don't know. I go opposite. I think Barcelona win this game. I think they cover the spread, which is 3/4 of a goal. And I think it could be a 2-0 type of scoreline, even 3-0 on this one. So I Barcelona.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well too. I know obviously Sabino is a Barcelona fan. I'm not saying Barcelona win. That Napoli was going to win in this game. I think it becomes a little tougher if Lorenzo Insigne can't play in the game. He is, he picked up a knock. I'm not sure he's going to be a game time decision, but I don't even. I have a sneaky suspicion that he doesn't play, and that's 8 goals, 6 assists out of that. He's the captain of that team. It's always tough when you lose a guy like that, so it's a tougher thing. And the only reason this price, I think, I have to believe, is minus 163 is the fact that at the end of the day, Barca don't need to win if it's scoreless late. So it's one of those things you have to decide on. So, it's a good price now, but late in the game when you're holding a $1.63 ticket and you see your team is not attacking, it kind of hurts. I don't think this game is ever finishing 0-0. So I think we can throw that idea out the window. Unless you like 0-0 is, I usually have that up. 0-0 is plus 1,400. That's not happening. Pavlos, I'm not sure if that's your dog barking. One of you guys didn't feed your dog or whatever, but give me your thoughts on this game, my friend.
Oh, you can hear that. I thought nobody can hear that. It's outside with closed windows. Anyway, so yeah, I agree. I didn't know. I didn't think if anyone mentioned it, but I don't think we're watching. We will watch a very open match. Napoli will surely try to score once, because that 1-1 draw at home wasn't really good. They need to score at least once. I'm not so sure if it will be easy without Insigne. I think that he's not going to play. Maybe we'll have to check out also tomorrow. I think he's not going to play anyway. So Barcelona at home, they're really, really strong. I don't think that it'll go, for a 0-0 draw that could take them to the next round. I think that they will go for the kill here. As someone said in the comments that, Barca are not Sassuolo, and if you try to do that offside trap to Lionel Messi, he's very likely to expose, the back line. So I don't think we'll see a very, open match. I think we'll see very few goals here. So the under 2 3/4 goals, no, the under 3 is at minus 119. So yeah, I think it's a pretty solid bet.
Yeah,
here.
it's funny because obviously you have one of the GOATs in Messi, and he when he makes those passes, he kind of reminds me of in thinking of a completely different sport, PBA. And if you don't know what PBA is, the Pro Bowlers Association, where the guy throws the ball, looks like it's going into the gutter, and then it just kind of swerves to the middle, and it's a strike. And this is Messi. He literally threads the needle with these balls. So it's all on the other guys to make sure that they can beat that offside trap that Napoli is going to try. And if so, Messi's just going to rip them apart. You know what I mean? All he's got to do it is once, and Napoli's game plan completely changes and such. All right, we're going to head to the final Champions League game. Another entertaining one that'll be played obviously at the same time. Bayern Munich and Chelsea. It's Bayern are up after 3-0 stranglehold. They come home after winning at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea come off obviously an FA Cup loss to Arsenal. Alonso and Jorginho both suspended. The injury list for Chelsea doesn't look great. Azpilicueta, Pulisic, Pedro. These guys are missing. Not expected to play. You have guys like Conte, Willian, Loftus-Cheek that didn't play in that FA Cup game because they're all sporting injuries as well. And likely, even if they're a little bit better, they're not match fit. I'm going to throw this one to Kev first again, just so Nick can jump on you one last time.
3 words. Chelsea to qualify, 52-1, absolute banker. I can't believe actually those odds 52-1, but no, in all seriousness, that'd pay for another one of Pavlos who's got trips at 52-1. But no, look, I mean, we talked about at the end of the Bundesliga season. I remember in our group chat, I was chatting to you. I had Mönchengladbach plus 1.5. They were fighting for a top 4 place. Munich had already won the league. But any time you fade this Munich team, they're just so attacking. They just want to bury you 2, 3, 4-0. Just keep, waving guys forward, putting them on the attack. So I do remember cashing that ticket, but it was literally sweating. I was like, I'm not stepping in front of this Bayern Munich train again. And it's going to be the same atmosphere here. Bayern Munich, I mean, I wouldn't say 3-0 totally out of the woods. It's not like 5-0 like Manchester United. But it's far enough away that I think, especially with Chelsea's injuries that you touched on, I just can't see any way that Chelsea get back in this. And I just see Munich steam training them. So I think Munich minus 1.5. I think they'll win this by at least 2. I really do. So that's the side of the play. Munich minus 1.5.
Yeah, and I don't think they have it in them when they field their strongest 11. I don't think they have it in them to play a game in which they call off the dogs. They just score. Like we've seen what they do to teams from London each and every time in these competitions, and just seem to put them away. So I would just throw it out there. Even if you think Chelsea is going to score, I would even throw it out there, and I'm going to put a few bucks on. As weird as this sounds, 5-1 exact score plus 2,800. So 28-1 on Bayern, just running it up on Chelsea. Before I throw it to Nick and your thoughts on this, was it Arsenal where they beat them both home and away 5-0 in a tie?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was a team
Arsenal
from London,
yeah.
So it may have been Arsenal. So give me your thoughts here.
If Chelsea's fully healthy, I'm taking Chelsea plus the goals in this one, but they're not. So Bayern, I have a ticket on Bayern plus 300 to win the Champions League. So I know that'll tell you enough what I think of Bayern. They looked so good in that Bundesliga restart. The good thing for them in this game is they have, I call this a warm-up game for them, right? They got a 3-0 lead. They haven't played in a month. Kind of get their legs going back again, get the rhythm going a little bit, and they don't have a lot to worry about here. Chelsea's not going to make a run at them. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Both teams to score minus 155 isn't too bad. Chelsea can score, so I actually kind of like that as a play. There's just too much. I don't know, no need for anything from a Bayern side. Yes, Kevin's right. They do love to just step on your neck and just. So I could see them winning, 3-0, 4-0, whatever. But I like the both teams to score. It's minus 155. I think that could be a lot higher. I think that's a decent way to play this one. But I'm just going to let my Champions League to win ticket plus 300 on Bayern ride on this one as far as the side goes. And we'll see if we can how they look going into the next round. But I like both teams to score.
All right. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to that 50K in subscribers. Really want to get there. Just a couple final notes. Obviously, the promo code's up there. Week 69. Use that to get 7 days all access of any cappers plays at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Next Tuesday night, Nick and I are going to do our final for this month. Our final live in-game betting show on the MLS is back final. We can't do any of the weekend games this week. I've got Reynolds. Nick's got family obligations. So Tuesday night, we're going to do it. I'm going to give away some jerseys. So tune into that show Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, and we'll give away, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and we're going to give away some jerseys. We'll be back next Thursday with our next stoppage time. We're going once a week now, and we'll cover all the games in Europa and Champions League as well. Guys, anything to add before we call this a show? Well, everyone's good. Pavlos is Pavlos might have checked out about 15 minutes ago on this show. So really appreciate you guys looking at it. One quick thing, someone asked me what I think, asked us what we think the line would be on Bayern and Barcelona. He's not going to like it because he's a Barcelona fan, but Bayern are clearly going to be the favorites in that game, even though it's on a neutral field in Portugal. I would think, just given their form and the way they're playing right now, that Bayern probably come out and even giving Barcelona the respect they deserve, I would think you would see minus 140 on Bayern Munich. Nick?
At least a half a goal favorite, and you're pushing the 3/4 of a goal number. So yeah, I'm right in that same ballpark.
Right. Anybody else want to chime in before we go?
I'd like to just predict a correct score for Bayern Munich against Chelsea. I'm on 3-1
Okay.
For Bayern Munich. Maybe 4-1, but 3-1 looks better. Because as Nick said, Chelsea have a lot of, and you, Carmine, and everyone actually, they have a lot of absences. So there is no way just to consider going with Chelsea on this one. Just so many people. Listen.
All right, guys. Let's
3-1.
hope for some good second halves in these afternoon, the first set of games. Would really like a Roma goal just to give me my both teams to score, and then a couple of good games, and then 4 big games, and then it's right off to Portugal and Germany, where in Germany the Europa League will be finished off there, and in Portugal the Champions League will be finished off there. Hopefully we see some great games. We'll see you next week. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. and best of luck with your wagers, guys.